So I think I'm audible, right? So basically, in this session, I will explain you how we can prepare for the SQL Cum SAP developer this position. So okay, so basically, please ping who are in the call. So I will get to know. So basically, so hi Pratik. Okay, so we will wait for the 2 minutes and then we will start the session. Okay, so okay, so yeah, I am audible, right? So okay. So basically, how we can prepare for the SQL come SAP developer this position. Okay, so basically, whenever you apply for the SQL developer position, and along with this SAP the developer, okay, or SAP support. So this is a job opportunity. So we will check in this session how we can prepare for the SQL, then how we can also prepare for the SAP developer this job interview. Okay, so, what are the different type of roles and responsibility for the SQL come the SAP developer, and what exactly expected interview question during the interview? Okay, so this might be help you further during your interview process. Okay, so I will also explain you the different company offering for the SQL come SAP developer position. So basically, SAP developer is the one the job opportunity, and SAP developer also the another job opportunity. But some companies looking for the candidate who have the knowledge on the SQL as well as the SAP. Okay, so basically SAP is a ERP application. So basically it will be helpful for the organization for the managing the data like ERP like enterprise resource planning. Then it will also helpful for the manufacturing company, then healthcare, then many domain it will be useful. Okay, so basically it is a one kind of the ERP application that will helpful for the billing. Then we have the inventory management, or we can say the order management, or as per the business domain. Okay, so basically we will also check how we can so basically the candidate who appear for the this role, then which type of question and answer it will be expected during the interview. Okay, so basically we will go one by one, and then we will basically go for the remaining thing. Okay, so basically okay, so basically first of all, what does the SQL developer do? So I have already explained in my previous video, and this session also I will explain you, because of if you know about the SQL developer job, then it will be easy for your interview. Okay, basically the most of the 80 to 90% interview question ask about the what exactly SQL developer do at the fresher level, or if you are the experience level. So basically SQL developer, it will be the it will be basically handling the SQL design, build, maintain the database. They can also write a query for the retrieve the manipulate the data, optimize the database performance. This is the basic responsibility, or this is the basic role of the SQL developer. Then basically SQL developer develop and manage the SQL database by the planning, developing, maintaining the database. Okay. Then SQL developer also do the structure query language like SQL to the query to create and modify the database table using the CURD command. Okay. So basically this is again the main responsibility for the SQL developer. Then an SQL developer is the database professional who have the work along with the business analyst, then business administrator and the IT professional. Okay, so help the company create and manage the databases to the control and manipulate the data. So basically, this is the main responsibility for the SQL developer. Okay, yeah. So I'm audible, right? So please ping in the chat box so I get to know. Yeah. So I'm audible, right? Okay. 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 Fine. Okay, so basically this is a responsibility for the SQL developer. Then skill that I already explained you. The SQL developer basically these are the main core branches where the most of the interview question. So basic knowledge of the SQL command. If you have the more knowledge on the SQL command like DML, DDL, DCL command. Okay, so this primary interview question basically asked in this part. Okay, so it will also ask the question like the profiling, optimize the server related the question. But is it for the if you are the fresher, then might be this question will ask. But for the experience level, the candidate this question probably ask. Okay, then proficiency and code version control, like then strong leadership and mentoring the skill. These are the different skill that required for the SQL developer. Then roles and responsibility for the SQL developer. So you will for the database development, then writing the query, then optimize the performance, troubleshoot. These are the different basically the responsibility for the SQL developer. Then you should be troubleshoot, then secure database, analyze the database, create the documentation. This is the most important question for the SQL developer. Okay, then we will go for the SAP. But before the going for the SAP, first of all, I will explain you during the interview. Okay, so basically, if you check, so I already created one document, and this document I will share you with you. So basically, if you are the prepare for the same document, then your 80 to 90% question preparation will be done here. Okay, so if you prepare for this part only, then your chances will be for the selecting for the SQL come SAP developer this job. It will be get more higher job for the selection. So basically we will go one by one. You can also focus on this the this part, and end of the video I will also share you this document with you. Okay, so if you have any query, any question, you can mention in a chat box. So end of the session I will take that question, and we will I will explain you how we can prepare that question. Okay, so you can ping your question in a chat box. So I will take that question end of the video. Okay, so for the SQL preparation, so we will go first of all we will go for the SQL, then we will go for the SAP. So for the SQL preparation, we will first of all check the basic, the like basic for the data type. So what are the different type of database data type available, like integer, float, then we have the boolean data type, then we have the varchar. So these are the different type of database available in a SQL. So interviewer ask you about the what are the different type of data type available in a SQL. So we will explain you the different type of database along with example. Okay, so for example, for the storing the string or name for the any of the candidate, like, so you can use the varchar data type. Or if you are the storing the numerical value, then you can use the integer data type. You can explain you with example. Okay, so this is a very good practice. If you are the explain the question, if you are the explaining the interview question with along with the example. Okay, you can take your example. Okay, for the explaining the part. Okay, then the second is one second. Okay, so basically the second basically constraint. What are the different type of constraint available in a SQL? So you will explain about the constraint. different type of constraint like not null constraint, check constraint. Then we have the primary key, foreign key constraint. So you can explain that constraint basically for the with example. Okay, so for example, primary key, when we apply the primary key in the any table, or what is the not null constraint, what we can set the default constraint, like that we can explain the different type of constraint. Then normalization. So what is the normalization, what is the type of the normalization, this is the important question about the SQL. Okay, then queries. So basically, along with that, interviewer might be ask you some queries, like you can write a query for the selecting the data from one of the table, or you can write a query for the inserting the data into the table, or you can update the table. Like we have already checked in a mock interview session. I have asked you some question about the inserting the data, selecting the data, update the data. Basically, in this part, interviewer might be ask you the query. You can write a query on the chat box, or sorry, you can write a query in a whatever the chat box, or if you are the face to face interview, then you should write a query on paper. Okay, then delete the query. This is the important query for the SQL. This is the basic level the question. Okay, then for the joins and subquery, so basically you will aware about the inner join. What is the inner join, what is the left join, what is the right join, and what is the full join. So if you are not go through that one, you can check my YouTube video. I will share you the resource with you, so you can also prepare for that. Okay, what is the inner join, how we can join these two table, and how we can take the data from the two table. Then store procedure function. So basically it will be ask you about the difference between the store procedure and function, or you can write a query for the creating the function. What are the different type of function, like user defined function, system function, like that. Then performance and tuning. So this is the question for the fresher. No, this is question for the experience level, not for the fresher. But you can aware about the what is the performance, or how can optimize the query, like indexing, execution plan, query optimization, this technique. Okay, then might be you will ask the question about the SQL server. This is the one kind of the database. Then Oracle, if interviewer might be ask you, do you know the about the SQL server, or if you aware of the Oracle database, then you can answer the question. Okay, then for the SAP development preparation. So basically this is the basically in this requirement, they are ask you about the SAP support kind of things. Okay, so not for the development, but 20% for the support, and 80% for the SQL development in this profile. But you need to understand about the SAP. Okay, what is the SAP, then why SAP will use. Okay, so what are the different type of the version available, like SAP AB basis. Okay, then SAP HANA, then SAP integration, then SAP BI BW, SAP Ferry, UI5. So basically this is a different type of the version available in a SAP. So I already explained you what is the SAP. Okay, so for the SAP, I will explain you in a the slide. So basically the SAP business one. So this is the application that you will work. So it will be also known as the SAP B1. Okay, so SAP business one, it is a application. It will be integrated enterprise resource planning ERP solution for the design small medium sized business. Okay, offering the modular for the finance, sales, inventory, and more. And it is a design to be affordable and easy to use. So basically, if you check, this is the small scale organization. It will be use the SAP one application for the planning for the resource planning. Okay, and it will be also useful for the finance, sales, and inventory management. Okay, then basically this is the basic about the SAP. Or if you need the more about the SAP, then I will explain you the next slide. Okay, how you can check the SAP more detail in a next session. Okay, so basically this is the SAP for the practical hands-on. So you will basically go to the SQL query real world database, then you can work on the SAP project or case study. So you can also go to the SAP program, then you can understand about the SAP HANA Studio, SAP GUI. Okay, so this is the different the way for the preparation. Okay, so interview read lines. So basically prepare for the scenario based question, brush up your real world SQL SAP challenge, then you can ready to for the coding, then soft skill and problem solving skill. So this is along with that your interview. You can also prepare this part. You can also improve your soft skill, problem solving skill. Okay, then we will go for the what is the fresher level SQL Cum SAP developer interview question and answer. Might be this interviewer ask you this question, so you can focus on this part. So basically for the SQL interview question and answer, so basically this profile is a 80% on the SQL and the 20% for the SAP. So you need to focus on the SQL part more, okay, as compared to the SAP. Okay, so for the SQL, for the SQL, what is the SQL? So this is a basic question asked by the interviewer. What is the SQL? So basically, SQL is a structured query language, and it is a use for the managing, the manipulating the relational database. It allow user to retrieve the insert, update, and delete the data. So this is a the basic about the SQL. So SQL is a structured query language that you already know, and it will be useful for the maintaining or managing the relational type the database like MySQL, like MySQL, MS SQL Server, Oracle. Like these are the different type of the relational database. Okay. Then second question, what is the difference between delete, truncate, and drop? So basically, this is another most important question asked you in an interview. So basically, you need to explain what is the difference between the delete, truncate, and drop command. Okay, so basically in this question interviewer may be expected like delete. What is the delete query will do? So delete query will be remove the specific record with the where condition, can be rollback, and it can be rollback. Okay, so most important thing that delete command we can roll back, but if you check truncate command it will be remove all the row but keep the table structure. Okay, not cannot be rolled back. So this is another kind of the difference between the delete and truncate. Then drop command. So basically drop command it will remove the entire table including the structure. So drop command it will be delete the data as well as the structure of the table. So this is the important question asked during the interview. So you can also prepare this question. Then the third question is what is the normalization? So the again this is the most important question because of you are the fresher and you will work on the SAP, or if you are the working on the SQL, then you know about the normalization and why the normalization important. So basically normalization is the process of the organizing the data in a database to the eliminate the redundancy and improve the data integrity. So normalization basically basically in this normalization basically we will uh, organize the data, like we have the different kind of the data. That data we will organize, we will collect the data in the one single platform, like we call as the data will be collected in the form of the rows and column. Okay, so that we call as a table. So we will organize the data, then in a database eliminate the duplication. Okay, eliminate the redundancy. Redundancy means data will be easy to read. Okay, then improve the data integrity. So what is the data integrity? So data integrity basically it will be remove the redundancy, duplication of the data, and data will be more reliable for the business decision. Okay, so that we call as the data integrity. Okay, so there are different type of the normalization. So in a SQL, the first NF, then second NF, and then third NF. So these are the three type of the database. These are the three type of the normalization. So in a first NF, no duplicate columns. Okay, and the second NF, no partial dependency, and third NF, no transitive dependency. Okay, so basically when we perform the normalization, then that time in a first NF no duplicate column. So in a first NF there is a no duplicate data or no duplicate column, but in a second NF no partial dependency. So the dependency basically we will remove the dependency, and there is a no partial dependency from the second NF. And third NF basically there is a no transitive dependency. So basically in this, so we will completely remove the dependency from the each table. Okay, so this is again so second important question for the SQL. Then question number 4, write a query to find the second highest salary. So this is the again most important question asked during the interview. Like you can interviewer maybe ask you, you can write a query, you can find the second highest salary. So I already explained the this question in my YouTube series. So basically I will share you the detail with you. So let me share the detail. So you can check my YouTube watch list. Okay, so in that I have already explained you the important in SQL interview question and answer. If you not go through that, you can first of all go through that, and you can clear your concept, and you can basically read all the detail that I explain you in that video. Okay, so basically how we can write a query. So basically first of all we need to find the second highest salary. Then first of all we will select max salary from the employee where the salary less than, again we will use the subquery like select max salary from the employee. So you need to practice this question, practice this query. Okay, then question number 5, so explain the primary key versus the foreign key. So again this is the most important question that asked during the interview. Like, so basically, what are the different type of the primary key? What is the difference between foreign key? So basically, primary key is a uniquely identify each record in a table. It is the not null unique key in that table. Okay, but foreign key establish the relationship between the two table, referring the primary key of the another table. So basically, referring the primary key of the another table. So basically, for example, I have already take the one example, student and department. You can explain with example. Okay, for this question. Then for the SAP, first question that might be asked to the interviewer, like what is the SAP? So SAP is a system application product. So you can again read SAP is the system application product is an ERP. ERP means enterprise resource planning software that integrate the business process like the finance, HR, sales and supply chain. So this application it will be useful for the integrate the business process like the finance team, HR team, sales team and supply chain like the logistic services company. Okay, so what is the SAP? What is the ABP? ABAP in a SAP. So ABAP means Advanced Business Application Programming. So is a programming language under the developing the application in a SAP environment. So this is the again important question for the SAP. Then third question, like eighth question, what is the difference between SAP HANA and SAP ECC? So SAP HANA in a memory database, fast processing, optimize the analytical. Then SAP ECC basically traditional ERP system, disk-based storage. So this is the difference between the SAP HANA and SAP ECC. Okay, so you not to worry. Basically, you will understand the most important question about the SAP. Okay, so then the what is the ALV report and SAP ABP ABAP? Okay, so basically this is again important question. ALV ABP live list viewer. Basically, it is a tool that allow dynamic report for the sorting, filtering, and exporting the options. So basically, the this ALV report is a one kind of the reporting tool. It will be useful for the generating the sorting the filtering the data, so exporting the options. Okay, then the next one, what is the interview question like SQL? So that I already explained you, normalization, primary key, foreign key, SAP, ABPS. So these are the different interview question that might be asked you, during the interview process. Okay, then why SQL and why it is used? So basically SQL, that is a already I explained structured query language. It will be interact with the relation database. It will be allow user to the retrieve the insert, update, delete the data. Then it is a different type of SQL command like a DML. In a DML command like create, alter, drop, truncate command. Then DML command like a data manipulation language. It will be insert, update, delete command. Then DQL data query language like select. Then DCL data control language like grant and revoke. So this is a different type of SQL command. Okay, then you can explain the difference between the delete and truncate that I already explained you. Then what is the the joins. So I already explained what are the different type of joins. Then what is the difference between where and where having clause? So basically, the where condition, it will filter the record before the grouping, and the having filter the record after the grouping. So you can explain with example. Okay, for this we can check the one kind of the example, like select department, count star, then from the employee, group by department, and having count star greater than 5. So this example you can explain to the interviewer. Okay, what is the normalization or what is the indexing? So indexing, basically index is a cluster index, non-cluster index. You can also check this one. Normalization I have already explained you. Foreign key I already explained you. Okay, so basically the for the store procedure. So basically what is the store procedure? So basically, in a store procedure is a pre-compiled set of the SQL query that improve the performance and security. Okay, so store procedure basically useful for the pre-compiled SQL query that improve the performance and security for the any kind of the table. Okay, or any kind of the database. Okay, then you can also explain the like how can create a store procedure, like create procedure, then procedure name, as then we can uh, take the any kind of the SQL query, and then we can run this SQL. Then you can run this store procedure. Okay, then you can also go through by the SAP related question, so that I explain you, and I will also share you this PDF with you, so you can go through this PDF. Okay, so now for the we will check how we can prepare for the SAP. Then I will also explain you how we can prepare for the SQL part. So now the part is for the how we can other detail, like so basically okay, so SAP we have completed. So basically the company detail. So it is a very important that where you going for the interview, you need to understand about the that company. So basically I will share you the link for this company. Okay, in the chat box you can take the detail from the chat box. Okay, you can copy the company detail from this chat box. Okay, now I will go through for the company detail. Okay, so for that I will share my entire screen. Okay, okay, so I have shared you the link in a chat box. Whoever the in the call, they can copy the link for the company detail. So basically the company name and how we can check the details. So I have ping you the link, so you can click on the company website. This is the official company website. So Civil is the company name. Okay, so you can check the Civil Sales International Private Limited. So this is the company name, Civil Sales International Private Limited. It is encrypted in a 2019, having the manufacturing unit in Kopoli, India. Civil cells manufacture rotary sheet cells, hydraulic cells, pneumatic the cells o-ring, then up to 3000 mm, the temperature ranging for minus 40 degrees Celsius. Basically this company, basically it is a one kind of the product based company. Okay, so you can check the detail for this company on this website. So I have already shared with the detail, so you can also go through the company detail. You can also check the different type of products available for this company. The metal sheet, then we have the fabric shipped cells. So these are the different type of product that company building. Then hydraulic cells, then you can also check this. So basically this way you can basically understand about the company, how the company will work. Then different type of the basically the application, the basically the team that working on the this one with the COE, then managing body, then what are the different type of certification acquired by the company. So these are the different type of detail you can check. So for the contact, so basically what are the different type of corporate office, then factory, and this detail you can check in this website. Okay, you can also check the review for the company using the Glassdoor. Okay, So you can go to the Glassdoor and you can check the review for this company. Okay. Or you can go to the ambition box. You can also check the review for the this detail. Okay. So I will share you the detail with you, so you can go through for that detail, and you can check the basically what are the different type of company, how the company will, when company established, maybe during the interviewer ask you this question. Okay. So the now the then basically now we will conclude the session. So if you have any query, any question, you can mention in the comment box. So if you have any query, so you can ping in a chat box. Okay. Okay. So maybe, so all of you understood the session. If you have any query, you can ping me, or I will share you the detail. I will share you the PDF detail with you, so you can go through that PDF detail and you can prepare yourself for the interview. Okay. So okay, so thank you for the watching this live session part. So whoever the join the session, I will refer you the PDF uh, for you. Okay. So thank you, and wish you happy learning. So we will ending the session. Okay.